My name is Dick O'Hary, and I'm a nomad by blood. Probably one of the last and very privileged nomad to be still able to roam this world like we did for thousands of years. Legends and myth had always fascinated me, not only because it is part of our culture, but because it helps us to understand other people, their cultures, and the different countries. My search for legends took me to the most beautiful and remote areas on this planet. Today I would like to take you with me in one of these journeys. It is not only a journey of a distance, as much as it is a journey back in our history of mankind. Today, I'm on a small Mediterranean island, an island blessed with beautiful clear water, high mountains, green forest, wonderful weather in the heart of the old world. I'm on the island of Cyprus. But you see, these things has not always been a blessing. It was a curse too, because everybody wanted to take this island. They thought if they control Cyprus, they control the world. So they all came, Egyptians, Romans, Persians, Greek, Crusades, English, you name it, and they're all gone. For some, it was the fortune. For others, it was the doom. But one thing remained. Cyprus, independent, beautiful, with the longest history, and tons of legends, which I am after. On the south coast of the island, we see this huge boulder, outstanding rock that doesn't look like anything in the area. It looks like it came from other place, but it didn't. It has been here for millions of years. It is the landmark of Cyprus, and it's called the Rock of Aphrodite, because the people believe that Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, was born here. We all know Zeus, the god of the gods in the Greek mythology. His father was Kronos, a titan. The legend goes that Kronos got so mad with his father, Uranus, or heaven, and he wanted to kill him. So he cut him his thing and he threw it in the sea, in the Mediterranean. And then the legend goes that out of the genital of Uranus came a white foam. And out of this white foam, Aphrodite was born. Kronos must have been a badass kid. You don't have a son like this, but at least we've got Aphrodite out of it. Another legend about this rock, they say that if a woman swims around it 3 times at the sunset, she will get beauty and love. And I guess that's what every woman wants, isn't it? And this is Idukia, the auntie of Tula and the star of the village.
Σπίτι μου δεν τα ρημούμε. Κάτσε σπίτι του πιο χαμηλά. Α, η μάνα μου.
Το κόσμος εδώ είναι μικρό, γιατί χαμηλό.
Εμπελές.
Εμπελές όλα. Πολλά ιστορία. 88.
Ναι.
Είσαι το τελειά σου. Πάνω στην λιμουζίο, πάνω Λεύκαρα.
Είδες τις κορώνες.
Ναι, πολύ ωραία.
Ξέρεις αγγλικά.
Ναι, εγώ.
Σκεύαστα.
Γράψεις εδώ. Souvenir of the coronation of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth.
Το που το ξέρεις.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Γεια σας.
Να πάτε στο καλό.
Ευχαριστώ, γεια σας.
And this is the original piece that the people of Lefkara made and Cyprus sent to the Queen of England for her coronation in 1953. But she did not accept it, and she sent it back. Strange woman. Anyway, maybe it's better to have it here.
Cyprus has the oldest monastery in the world. It's this one up there. It's called Stavro Vouni. It was built in the year 327, just 27 years after Christianity became legal in the world by the Roman Emperor Constantine. And this monastery has a hell of a legend. The legends go back to the mother of Constantine, Helena, that she was on a pilgrimage in Jerusalem when she heard about 3 crosses buried somewhere. Apparently one of them belonged to Jesus. So she decided to dig them out and take them with her back home, like they always do. They just dig the things out and take it home. Anyways, on the way back, her ship caught in the storm and she stranded on the coast down there. And they say while they were sleeping, and by a miracle, the cross had moved by itself to the top of that mountain, and there was a lot of light around it. Hallelujah. Must have been a hell of a sight. In the morning, she sent all the sailors and everybody to get the cross back, but the cross won't go back. It was like the sword of King Arthur, stuck in the rock. So she decided to leave it here and build a little chapel around it, because apparently that's where the cross wanted to be. Look what happened to the little chapel. It became a huge monastery. But one thing you must know, there's no women allowed in this monastery, even though it was built by a woman. Does it make sense? And this is the furthest point that we can go with the camera. Cannot go. Women can't go inside either. Hiking in Cyprus, you might come across villages like this, deserted, ruined. No one lives here at all, even though on beautiful spots. But you see, that happened after 1974, when they divided the island. They relocated lots of people. So all the Turkish Cypriot, they have been moved from the south to the north, and all the Greek Cypriot from the north to the south, leaving everything behind. Their houses, their fields, their fathers' graves, and they both became refugees in their own little island. How did they manage to do this to each other? I will never understand. It's very sad somehow. Here in the little deserted village called Virecha, on the hills of Patras, we have the smallest church in the world. That's my opinion. I'm not sure it is wrong or right, but I just cannot imagine that they have a smaller church than this anywhere else in the world.
It's only my height.
Very tiny. I hit my head on the door. Has a place only for one person, maximum two. I don't know where's the breeze going to be. Donation for the church. Maybe they make it a little bit bigger. Just on the outskirts of the town of Larnaca, there's a lake. It's a salt lake. Cyprus has few salt lakes, but this is the biggest one of them all. And it has a legend for sure. The locals here, they said that it wasn't a lake. It used to be a lush green vineyard full of grapes until Saint Lazarus came to Cyprus. So what happened? What did he do? We all know Saint Lazarus. It's the guy that Jesus raised from the dead back in Jerusalem. The story tells that after his resurrection, he escaped Jerusalem, fearing the Romans, and he came to Cyprus. And he lived here for another 30 years before he died again. But this time for good, because Jesus himself was dead. Anyways, the legend tells that one time while he was traveling here, he asked the lady that owned the fields for a glass of water, maybe a glass of wine, we don't know. But she said, "Oh no, I have nothing, my land is dry, go away, mister." So he got mad with her, and he said to her, "May your field be dry forever." She woke up next morning and that's what she saw, a salt lake, everything is gone. And that's how the salt lake came to Cyprus. So the moral of the story is, if you ever come across St. Lazarus, you better give him what he wants. And apparently, this is the tomb of St. Lazarus.
When he died, he was here a bishop. He died probably, he was buried in this one. Leon VI of Byzantine asked for the bones of St. Lazarus to build a church in Constantinople.
Okay.
And he did build the church, but they didn't send all the bones because they didn't want to.
And so, yes?
They sent some of the bones, and the others were kept in the other tomb.
Actually, St. Lazarus has two tombs. He died 2 times and he has 2 tombs, probably 3 tombs. What a lucky man. We're all gonna have 1 tomb when we die.
But he lived twice.
It's
Because
enough.
of Jesus.
It's enough. We don't want to live twice, man. Once is more than enough.
Yes.
And this is apparently the real bones of St. Lazarus. And this salt lake has another legend, which is not connected to Christianity or saint or anything like that. No, it is connected to Islam. The legend tells about the foster mother of Prophet Muhammad, who was traveling in Cyprus in the heat of the summer. And the legend goes that here over this lake, her donkey stumbled over the salt, and the old lady, she fell down and she died. So they buried her here, built a shrine, which is a mosque called the Hala Sultan Teka, and it's a very sacred for all Muslims around the world. It's somehow ironic if you look at both legends about the lake. The Christian, they create the lake, the Muslim fell into it and died. It seems to me like there's an endless war between these 2 religions since the beginning of time. One of the strangest stories I've heard while traveling in Cyprus took me to this place. It's about 50 kilometers away from Larnaca to the east on the coast. It's called Cape Greco. It's an amazing and wild spot on the coast. with bridges like this, sea caves and cliffs. The people here, they say that there's a sea monster lurking under the surface of this water. You see, when you travel in the mountain country, you hear a lot about mountain monsters. Dracula is sucking the blood of the people of Transylvania. When you travel on an island like this, Greece, Cyprus, or any other places, you hear a lot about sea monsters. This is the environment the people they live with. True or not, nobody really knows. But it's beautiful to stroll in this area with all these stories in your mind. It's a beautiful day, and here in the Larnaca Marina I'm going to meet some Russian diver who promised to show me something special. Let's see. Let's see. It's my first time here.
was amazing. They call this ship the Titanic of the Mediterranean. It is the biggest one, and it's one of the 10 biggest wrecks all over the world. Lots of fishes, turtles. It was just beautiful.
This is Paphos, the oldest city in Cyprus, and in my opinion, the most beautiful of them all. Surrounded by beautiful hills, crystal clear water, and lots of archaeological sites. And behind those sites are great legends and stories. I cannot tell you all, but I can tell you a few of them. And this is one of the most interesting churches for me in the heart of Paphos. And it has something very unique I would like to show you. This church has so many columns standing outside in the yard. They are tall, some of them are standing, some of them are on the floor. Marble columns. But there's only one of them who's very sacred and holy. So let me show you which and why. And so this is the most sacred and holy column of them all. They call it the column of St. Paul. And the legend about this column goes that after Jesus died, St. Paul and St. Barnabas came to Cyprus to preach Christianity and to convert the people like they always do. So while they were traveling here, they came to Paphos and they encountered a false prophet with the name of Alemas. For sure he did not like this. So he managed to get an order for the Romans to get St. Paul whipped on this column. So they said they tied him here and they whipped him 39 lashes 5 times. That makes 195 lashes. And so this column became very sacred and holy for the whole Christian world. Another legend about this church, that it has the only grave of a Danish king out of Denmark. It's the grave of Eric I, or Eric the Good, as they call him. He died here in the year 1103 on his way to Jerusalem. He was a crusader and he was going to fight the Arabs, but then he died here and he got buried here. The Danes, they call him Eric the Good. You see, they always have these names for the king: the good, the beautiful, the wonderful, the magnificent. I'm not really sure if they were like this. And this is one of the most interesting sites in the heart of Paphos. It looks like an ancient abandoned city. And this is what the 19th century travelers in Cyprus, they thought. But actually it is not. It is a necropolis, or a city of the dead. Cyprus, they call this place the tomb of the kings, even though the fact is, there's not one king. He has been buried here. So whose tombs are these? And how old they are? Well, this is certainly not a Greek burial site, not even a European. Europeans, they don't bury people like this. This is, look, Egyptians. And in fact, this is the one who built this necropolis. It was built by the Ptolemaic. This is the last great dynasty in ancient Egypt. They ruled over Cyprus 2,500 years ago. They came from Alexandria, and they enjoy the resources of this island. And so they built this burial site for the governors and the administrators who came all the way from Egypt. So they made it exactly in the Egyptian style, where you can find in the Nile Valley down south. So there is no Greek or Cypriot has ever been buried in this site. I guess the people in Cyprus dubbed it tombs of the kings, even though no kings has been buried here, because of the majestic style, the columns and all, things they have not seen before. And now Cyprus is showing me the 4 seasons in one day. It was very cold in the morning, it's very hot at midday, and now we have a wonderful thunderstorm in this beautiful ancient place. There are few spots in our planet that seem to defy the law of gravity. So things would roll up instead of rolling down. Strange. They said that there are only 3 spots like this in Europe. One of them is here in Cyprus. It's this road down there. Which I'm going today to check for myself. Is that true or not? I want to see that. So this is the part of the road which they say it has no earth gravity. And as you see, it's going uphill there. The car will come up and they roll down. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to put the car in neutral and let's see which way is going to roll, that way or the other way. I hope no cars will come now. Let's try. So now the car is in neutral. Let's see. Oh, it's rolling up. You see, it's rolling up. Jesus, and it's fast too. Well, that's just crazy. I never experienced something like this before. That's a real gravity hill. Lots of people think that Cyprus is just an island with beautiful beaches, but actually that's not only it. This island is very diverse in every sense, landscapes and weather. Here on the far west of the island, on the Akamas Peninsula, I'm coming to show you one of the most fascinating formations of nature, and it has also a very interesting legend about it. And after the long hike, finally here I am inside the Avakis Gorge, one of the most beautiful natural places in Cyprus, with these beautiful colored rocks, very narrow. There is no other way except to get into this water. There are so many of these stone bridges hidden in the forests of Cyprus. They are hard to reach and not many people know where they are. The legend about these bridges go back to the time of the Venetian when they ruled over Cyprus. You see, the name Cyprus comes from the Greek word Kypros, which means copper, because Cyprus was one of the earliest places in the world to mine copper. And the Venetian, they made a business out of it. They were businessmen. So they mined the copper here in the mountain and they exported to Egypt, which was a big consumer of copper at the time. To transport this copper from here to the port where they exported, they needed to build these bridges for the donkeys, which were heavy loaded with copper. Let's go around and take a look. And this is another hidden bridge, the Ilia Bridge. And here in the little mountain village of Prodromos, I'm looking for a very legendary spot, which I'd like to show you. And this is a place which I'm after, the Veningaria Hotel. This hotel was built in 1930 when mountain tourism became kind of fashionable. And it was named after the queen that Richard the Lionheart married in the castle of Limassol. In the 50s, it was a top hotel in Cyprus. Famous people from all over the world stayed here. Winston Churchill, King Farouk of Egypt, a lot of stars, actors and politicians. But the legend about it here in the village, they say that this place has been always haunted and cursed.
The Berengaria Hotel has closed its doors last time in 1984, and the official reason was that the business was not good anymore. But the people around here, they have a totally different story. They said that this hotel is cursed. After the father died and he gave his beloved hotel to his 3 sons, they were lazy, started a fight, they were jealous, and they totally abandoned the hotel. So the hotel was falling apart, and they believe that the father cursed him for that. And they all died mysteriously one after the other. Since 1984, the hotel was closed, and there are tons of stories about all the shadows, the sounds, the different lights that has been seen in this hotel. There's a story about the ghost of a dead manager who has always been seen walking at night looking for another victim. About a female ghost who was walking around seeking revenge, which was a guest actually that drowned in the pool. Another story about a young girl always standing at the same window at dusk, exactly at the same window. So there's so many stories about it. Makes people very excited to come and see it. Some people think it's true, some people think it's superstitious, but whatever it is, it's just a place to see.